Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top 5 New Comics for April 16th of 2025. I'm, as always, Chris. We got a cool slate of books for you this week that I'm excited about. Very Marvel and DC centric, but you're going to see it's for good reason. So let's jump right in, starting with The Summer of Superman Special Number 1. This is written by Mark Waid, Dan Slott, and Joshua Williamson, with art by Jorge Jimenez and colors by Tomeu Morey. So many reasons why this is on my list. I think this is going to be a great jump-in point for people who maybe have been sleeping on Superman the past couple of years. Give you a intro to what they're doing for the summer, some of the new books they're introducing, kind of a jumping on point for the main Superman book with Joshua Williamson. Mark Waid being involved because he's going to be doing a lot with Action Comics moving forward. And then Dan Slott's introduction into DC. Dan Slott, if you don't know, a longtime Marvel writer, best known for the stuff he's done on Spider-Man particularly. But he's done She-Hulk, he's done Fantastic Four. He did a really fun Silver Surfer run with Mike Allred. Bunch of good stuff in there. Jumping over to DC, doing some stuff there, specifically Superman Unlimited. So we're going to get a taste of what that book is in this issue. And I think Superman as a whole has been some of the best he's been in a long time. For me personally, as a reader, Superman's a character I jump in and out of because you really have to get him to get a Superman book right. And unfortunately, a lot of writers just don't have the chops to get him right. And that's not necessarily a critique on how good those writers are or aren't. It's more a critique of he's a tough character to really get down. And if anybody's gotten him down, in my eyes, recently, Joshua Williamson's been top tier, just great stuff. Mark Waid has a long history with him, and we'll see what Dan Slott's got. But I'm excited. It's really cool to be excited about Superman again. So if you haven't been reading any Superman, pick this up, try it out, check out different stories. I think it'll be a good primer for what's to come in the coming months with the character. After that, we've got DC Cross Sonic the Hedgehog number 2. This is written by Ian Flynn with art by Adam Bryce Thomas, colors by Matt Herms, letters by Becca Carey. Listen, if you're looking for the next Watchmen or the next Dark Knight Returns or name all-time great comic that's been created, DC Cross Sonic the Hedgehog is not that book. But what it does bring is fun at its core. That first issue was really just, here's the Sonic crew, and here's the Justice League. And what characters mesh with others? Like, which ones are the same? Which ones have similarities that we can kind of put together and really make this feel like it belongs in a way, even though in no way possible does this belong together. And then introduces the idea that Darkseid's been going across the multiverse trying to find ways to bring about the anti-life equation, as Darkseid's want to do, and stumbles across this land with Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog and all these great characters, and is going to collect the Chaos Emeralds. Everything here is just out of control. I can't believe it's happening, but it was a ton of fun. I love the interactions between the characters. It was a good time, and had a really obvious ending to it, that first issue. But, like, it's still just, as a fan of both of these properties, hit me right where it needed to. So, really love this book. It just brought so much joy into my weekly reading that I recommend it. I mean, just, it's a good time. And then, for those that don't know, Ian Flynn wrote Sonic the Hedgehog at Archie and then at IDW for a long time. I'm not sure if he's still writing it or not. I have not kept up with the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. So he's a guy, too, that's getting a chance with DC, with, one of the big names in comics, to do something cool. So seeing him up there after his years and years of grinding on a property that he loves, don't get me wrong, but on a property that, while popular, just isn't the mainstream success that some other books are. Getting his name out there is really cool too. And then Adam Bryce Thomas, just some really fun art. Everything with this book, it's a good time. I support more of this. Not necessarily just more Sonic the Hedgehog, just more find the craziest crossover we can find and let's do it. And we'll talk more about that at the end of this episode. But after that, I've got Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 38. This is written by Mark Waid, with art by Clayton Henry, colors by Tamara Bonneville, and letters by Steve Wands. We've talked a lot about World's Finest on this series. Honestly, my reading over the past few months has dropped off just because life. And I'm a bit behind on World's Finest, but that is my mission for this week, is to catch up on World's Finest because of this issue where it's crossing over with the Justice League. We're getting this We Are Yesterday story arc that's going to cross from Justice League to this and back. And there's a lot of cool things that they say are going to happen. We've got, what's going on with Gorilla Grodd, what's going on with the Legion of Doom, what's going on with this weird cult that the Justice League's coming across, how it's going to affect, how time travel is going to be involved. Everything. And you've got Justice League, which has been a really great team book at DC right now, with one of the best creative teams out there, which Dan Mora and Mark Waid. And then you've got this World's Finest book, which I think I'm 2 or 3 issues behind, so let's say 35 issues plus an annual, has been an amazing title with Mark Waid and at one point Dan Mora, but it has jumped between artists. Now Clayton Henry's taken over, another great artist, and it's just been so good in every way. It's a book I can't recommend enough. So, bringing those two books together. The same writer is in charge, is helming both books, which means a lot for a crossover like this to me. When you have multiple writers involved, it gets muddy sometimes. But with this, Mark Waid's doing it all, so let's see it. I'm excited after what happened at the last issue of Justice League, how it's going to affect this issue of World's Finest, and then moving into more Justice League. This is going to be a book to watch for the coming weeks and months. So after that, we're going to jump over to Marvel with Superior Avengers number 1. This is written by Steve Fox with art by Kyle Hotz and Luca Maresca, with colors by Mattia Icono. And it doesn't list a letterer, which is unfortunate. So let's jump in. I'm really liking this One World Under Doom story arc. It's not blow your socks off amazing. It's not reinventing the event comic amazing, but it's got enough cool moments throughout it. I just like Dr. Doom as a character, as a villain, that I want to see more of it. I kind of want them to hold on to the status quo for a while and move forward with it, because it's very interesting. But with this book, for any good event, we need a new Avengers tie-in. And why not bring in an evil Avengers squad with what looks more like a Thunderbolt squad, if you ask me. We've got Doc Ock, we've got Onslaught, we've got Ghost, we've got Abomination, and we've got a character I'm not familiar with, but it looks like an evil Black Panther going on here. Don't keep up with a lot of Black Panther stuff. Just a lot of cool iconography, cool character designs, just cool stuff altogether. And I'm always down to check out an Avengers title. It's one of those things, when Avengers is in the name, I usually pick it up just to check it out at the very least. It ties into a really cool event book. I like that we've got this. It seems like Doom trying to be Captain America as a lead. I'm sure that's going to be a Doombot of some sort. It's just a cool cast. It's a cool design, and it's always a fun idea. The bad guys are the good guys. They're gonna, we're about to see it in the movie theaters here with Thunderbolt soon, but it's one of those tropes that always works with me in some way. So I'm really excited to see what this is. And Steve Fox, a guy who's been digging at the trenches at Marvel for a while now, and has, you know, been building and been doing some cool things. And it's cool to see him get an Avengers title, even if it's a spin-off Avengers title, get his shot at the big times, really. If you're not familiar with how Marvel really runs their operation, yes, they bring in big names. Yes, they have people under contract. Like they work a lot of the same as other comic companies. But and just being someone who's a fan of Marvel and has been followed Marvel for most of my life, I just know how they kind of run things from the outside looking in, as opposed to DC. So I'm not saying DC doesn't do this. I'm just saying this is what I've noticed from Marvel over the years. Is they bring in these guys in the trenches and give them titles and really make them work their way up to the big times. And that's where Jed MacKay came from. Like, I've been reading Jed MacKay for a long time, doing some interesting, sometimes bad, sometimes good, B, C, Z tier characters until he made his way to being one of the premier Marvel writers doing X-Men and Avengers. Steve Fox is one of these guys. I've seen his name around a lot, doing some really, books that I'm not going to pick up, honestly. Books that maybe aren't the marquee titles, but he's given his time, given his blood, sweat, and tears. And here's an Avengers title for you. And we'll see more from him in the future. So I'm really excited to see him. And we'll end with another fun crossover. That is Godzilla versus Hulk #1. This is written by Jerry Duggan with art by Giuseppe Camuccio, inks by Daniel Orlandini, colors by Federico Blee, and letters by Travis Lanham. If you didn't read 2 weeks ago's Godzilla vs. Fantastic Four, go buy that fucking book right now. It was a blast. We got to see a giant holographic thing at one point. We got to see a cosmic charged Godzilla fighting a cosmic charged King Ghidorah. We got it. It just gave me everything I wanted out of that book in so many ways, including a Galactus in this world that just decided to go out and find Godzilla villains to make his heralds. Love it. Love everything about it. And like any good versus book, like any good crossover book, we got the Avengers fought Godzilla, and then another threat shows up where they need to team up. I'm sure that's what's going to happen in this book. I'm not expecting them to reinvent the wheel here, but fuck it, did I enjoy that last issue, and am I ready for more of this Godzilla versus? Now, Godzilla versus Hulk, for me personally, isn't going to be the top of the list for books I'm on that tier that I want. I'm more looking forward to when they do Godzilla versus Thor, Godzilla versus the Avengers, stuff like that. But I don't care. I want more of these all the time. Do them weekly. I will buy all of them. Godzilla versus name the character, and I'm there for it. It's just been so much fun. And then add in, they're going to do stuff with Thunderbolt Ross, of course. It's a Godzilla, or it's a Hulk book. And they're going to do stuff with Fing Fang Foom. Apparently Mothra showing up in this issue. There's just so much cool, fun stuff for this. And we're learning this week what this is all leading up to. And just knowing that after these one-shots are done, we're getting a mini-series that's Godzilla. Spoilers, but it's in the news. Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe. Fuck yeah. I'm here for it, 100%. I want more of these Godzilla versus books. So everybody, that is everything for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow me further, remember, you can always go to Substack at chriscomicscorner.substack.com, or you can follow me on social media, whether it's X or Blue Sky or whatever is out there. I'm at Fortress Chris. And then if you want to support these videos, you can like, subscribe, share, comment down below. And also find my podcast, which is the Fortress of Comic News podcast, where every week we talk about the comic news, we talk about what's going on. We're talking about the Daredevil show right now. And of course, we interview a comic creator about what they're working on in the industry right now, whether that's a first-time indie creator trying to fund their book on Kickstarter, or a guy working at Marvel at the top of his career, we bring them all on, talk to them, and discuss comics with them. It's a good time. And you can find those in video format on YouTube as well. So if you subscribe, you'll find those as well. So that's everything. We'll see y'all here next week.